Number one is, a prerequisite for this is to make sure that you have installed anaconda, and then you have to make sure that you have added Python to your Windows path. So this tutorial is about running Python inside RStudio in a Windows operating system. All right. So again, make sure that you have installed anaconda, and you have to make sure that you have added Python to the Windows path. You can Google how to add Python to Windows path. It's a number of tutorial on how to do that. Secondly, make sure you have a new RStudio project. Okay, perhaps you can do that now. We start RStudio. And we make a new project, new directory, new project. Okay, we can perhaps choose D as our directory and make a folder make a folder directory name and type perhaps retic R. Okay, create project, and now you are inside your working directory in D and retic R, and this is your project file. Okay, we minimize this. All right. Now we want to check. We want to check if Windows can find your Python in your system. So we go to start and type cmd command, and then type where Python. You should get something like this, okay, where it points to your anaconda and with python.exe there, and then where conda. Okay, type where conda, and you should be able to see this. All right, if you get something that says that it cannot find the directory or the file, then something is wrong with the path to Python in your Windows setting. So you have to go back and make sure that you have added Python to your path, right? So now assuming that everything is all right. Okay, now let's go to the working directory. All right, so this is your R project. Okay, this is your R project. You see this three button there, right? This three button, and you click it, and then this is the your project, your working directory. Right click it, and then copy address as text. Okay, cancel. Go back to this, because what we are doing now is we want to go to that directory. Okay, we want to go to that working directory from this command cmd interface. All right, Ctrl V and type cd. Okay, cd /d. All right, because sometimes you cannot change from C to D directly. All right, so you have to have this um, /d and your directory of the R project. Right, so now you are inside your working directory. Okay, so what we are going to do next is we want to install virtual environment. Okay, we want to install virtual environment. I've got this, but assuming I don't have this, and now what the first thing I want to do now is to install a virtual environment library. So you type pip, right, install virtualenv. All right, so in my case I've got that already. All right, so requirements already satisfied. But in your case, if you have not had this, then Windows will download, or in this case Python will download and install virtual environment package for you. And then I want to create a new environment. Okay, a new environment inside the RStudio working directory. So I'm going to type this. To save time, I will just copy this. Okay, I'm going to create a new environment named as .env inside the RStudio working directory. Alright, so it is now copying all the Python files into your RStudio working directory. Alright, so now let's see what happens here. Right, if you go to your RStudio project, now you see a new folder there, .env. Alright, so you click .env, you go to scripts and then you see all this file. Right, and now go to env, go to scripts. Okay, now you are inside your your working directory, inside this folder .env, inside this scripts. Right click and copy address as text. Okay, copy the address as text, and now we want to paste here. Right, but what we are doing now is we want to activate that virtual environment. All right, so you have to make another slash there and then type activate. All right, activate. Right, so now what you see here is now the working directory is using this virtual environment. Okay, this environment. All right, good. So now you are inside your working directory, and your working directory is using that environment. Now you can for example install some packages inside your virtual environment. In this example, I want to install pandas, numpy and matplotlib. Right, so I type pip, install pandas, numpy and matplotlib. Enter. Now the system is downloading pandas, numpy and matplotlib into the environment inside your working directory. All right, so we want to use that virtual environment, not the the base environment. All right. Right, so it's installing now. Maybe it takes a few more seconds to finish. Right, now it says successfully installed Kiwi, Matplotlib, NumPy, Pandas, PyParsing, and blah blah blah. You can confirm this by going to the to the RStudio, and you'll see that inside this let me check inside this um, inside lib, there is a site packages folder there. When you click it, you see, you got Matplotlib, you got NumPy, you got Pandas. Excellent, excellent. All right. So next is to create a R profile, and then you go to this, create just create a new R script, and then type sys dot set environment reticulate underscore Python equals, and this should point to the your virtual environment. All right, so you have to type something like this. Okay, now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to dot environment dot env, go to scripts, right? Actually, what I want to do is I want to copy this, this directory, the address to this directory, scripts. Okay, copy address as text, cancel. Okay, and Control V, and now you have to be careful. All right, you have to be careful because you have to change this slash to forward slash. I think, I'm not sure whether this is backslash or forward slash, but you have to change this to this kind of slash, right? Okay, and then you have to save this file as dot R profile. Okay, so what this will do is, it force your R to read the Python inside your virtual environment. Okay, so you see this R profile file here. Now we can test what's happening here. Okay, let's type library Reticulate. So now it means that you have to download and install Reticulate package first if you have not done that, right? So you have to install download and install Reticulate package first if you have not done that. In this case, I've got that already, so I'm activating the Reticulate library. Okay, it says a warning something, but it's all right. Now I type Reticulate py config. All right, Reticulate py config, and enter. And you see here, it still uses the Python in the anaconda directory. Okay, not in the virtual environment. So which is still wrong. Okay, why? Because we have not restarted this yet. So R has not read this R profile yet. So what we have to do now is to close and start RStudio. The easiest way to do that is to go to session and click restart R. Right? Has it started yet? Okay, let's do that again. Okay, restart R. Okay, it has restarted R. Okay, now I'm gonna type again library Reticulate. Okay, and now I'm going to again type Reticulate ::py config. And now if you see here, Python version was forced by Reticulate Python, and now it uses the Python inside the virtual environment. So this is what we want. This is what we want. Okay. So I mean that means that you have successfully connect Python with your RStudio, and you are now able to um, use very conveniently Python in RStudio. Let's do some tutorial. Okay, I've got this tutorial from DataQuest IO blog pandas. Okay, copy, and let's go to this. Right. And it uses ign.csv data. I've got that already, so I'm going to copy the file to my current to this current folder. Control C, and this is retic_r. Okay, Control V. So now we will see two CSV files inside this working directory. All right. And now we can close our profile file, and let's work with R Markdown. New file, go to R Markdown, and title we put test Python for example. Click OK. This we don't want. All right. So what the tutorials, we follow what the tutorial says. Import pandas as PD. Okay, copy. Now I need to create a R code chunk, and you have to replace R with Python because we are going to run Python code here. And then I want to import pandas as PD. Let's say this one I want to write as read data. Good, there is no error whatsoever. Okay, what's next? Basically I've got that done already, so I'm going to copy what I have done before. Right, so okay, I'm import pandas as PD, and reviews equal actually PD pandas, and read the CSV file ign.csv here. All right. And then of course you won't see anything here because this is a Python object, a Python object, so you don't see inside the global environment. There is ways to convert between Python objects and R object, right? And when you check the data again, make a code chunk and replace R with Python. And you see this is the head of the file ign.csv. Shape, and then let's say we want to see the data. We want to see the from 10 to 20 rows, and do this. All these are actually Python codes, and you have to add this R code chunk, but you have to replace R with Python. Okay, don't forget that. So you can get the the means, you can do the correlations. Yeah, but okay, this one, I'm making a plot. Okay, I'm making a plot, and you don't see because this is matplotlib, and then you don't see the plot here. All right. So, but the good thing about running Python using Reticulate is that you can use the Python objects and you can use tidyverse, for example, to manipulate the Python objects. For example, in this case, I'm adding a R code chunk, which is R code chunk, okay, and I'm using tidyverse, and I'm going to plot, Python objects, and you have to remember, and you have to add this thing, okay, py $sign, and this the Python object, in this case the data, and then I can do ggplot. Okay, I can run it, and there you go. So for this code chunk I'm using R, and for this data, they were read in pandas. We did some very brief exploratory data analysis using Python. We read this data using Python, and we plot this using ggplot. So that's the power of combining R and Python inside the RStudio IDE. So I hope I think let me summarize again what we have done. First, prerequisite is to install Anaconda. That's number one. Number two, you have to make sure that Windows knows the path to Python. All right. Secondly, always start a new project when you want to use R. Okay, and you can name the project, of course, with whatever name you want. And then don't forget to test the window and Python connection. And then I create a new environment. Virtual environment, you install once, and after that you can use virtual environment to create different environment. So I created a new environment here. Then I need to activate the environment, right? And then I can I install Python libraries, and then I create Rprofile file to make sure that R forces Python inside the virtual environment to work with, and then there you go. You are good to go with Python and R. So thank you very much. Hopefully this will be helpful to everyone. Thank you. Bye.